Hello, this is Rick from 1124 Holdings and e24land.com, here to give a video overview of our 20.865 acre property in Fort Garland, Colorado, Costilla County, southern Colorado. This is actually two side-by-side 10 plus acre properties that can be purchased separately or together. Um, they're so similar, I rolled the video into one. So in case you haven't seen it, I've got another video out there that shows where is Fort Garland, where is Costilla County. Um, it gives more general information about geography in relation to other cities and drills more into the area. Look for that in the description below. So in this case, So in this case, um, where my hand is, we're talking about this area here. We'll come back and talk about this, but um, it's this area here. So if we were looking to say, okay, well, where is Fort Garland? How far is it from Fort Garland? So when you talk about the relation, there's Fort Garland. It's about 20, 25 minutes away, or from San Luis, about 20 or 25 minutes away. I'll come back to that. The two towns in the area that we're talking about are Fort Garland and San Luis. So they're only about 20 or 25 minutes apart from each other, straight up and down Highway 159 here. So depending on where you're coming from, if you're coming from the south, Taos, and come straight up 159 into the area, and it'll either be 20 minutes further from San Luis to Fort Garland, or if you're coming from the north, Denver, Colorado, down through Pueblo and across in, then you'll want to stop off for a pit stop there in Fort Garland, spend the night there, or a lot of people will spend the weekend out in Alamosa, about 30 minutes out to the west, where you've got Walmart and lots of shopping and restaurants, and there's a golf course there and a number of other things. So if you want to spend the night, you want to do that. If you're coming down for the day, you're going to either come through San Luis from the south or Fort Garland here in the north. You got Highway 159 runs south and then eventually turns into New Mexico 522 at the state line. Or going east-west, you've got Highway 160 that comes through Levada Pass and then out to through Alamosa and all the way out to Wolf Creek and beyond. So, all right, let's drill in a little bit from Denver. Coming down Highway 25, it's about 3 hours to Fort Garland. Right, 3 hours to Fort Garland, and then as we showed here, once you get to Fort Garland, you got another 25 minutes. So figure 3 hours and 25 minutes. 25 Colorado Springs, 2 hours to Fort Garland, and then another 25 minutes, right? Pueblo, hour and a half. Once you get to Levada Pass, let's see if I can point Levada, then you're really coming into the valley. You come across, and then you're into the area. From down below, Taos is down here. Taos has got 1 hour to San Luis, and then another 20 minutes to Fort Garland. But again, from Taos, um, you got an hour to get to San Luis, and then another 22 minutes to get into the property. And actually, that's not too far back into the mountains. You can be coming along the highway, and then you cut over the service road, and it's not too bad to get up into this property. So we're going to drill into that here a little bit more in just a minute, but just to get some orientation there. All right, let's drill in a little bit. You can see this little orange speck. We're going to be drilling into that. That's where the property is. So some recognizable landmarks in the area. So we want to generally talk about the mountains, right? This is the Sangre de Cristo Sangre de Cristo mountain range, right? The highlight of the area are the 14ers, the mountain peaks that are above 14,000 in elevation. The crown jewel for the area is Mount Blanca. That's what everyone talks about right there. But this is really a cluster of a couple of peaks in there. You got right next to it Mount Lindsay, Little Bears just to the side, and then Crestone is up a little to the north. But if you're looking at this property, you're going to see this cluster of mountains here. Calubra Peak is another 14er down here to the south and east, excuse me. Over in the area, this here is Mount Mestas. And then you have the east and west Spanish Peaks are right here. And down to the south, you're going to have Ute Mountain. So if you're coming up from Taos, this is the New Mexico Colorado state line. So just over the New Mexico state line is Ute Mountain, and then down here in this area right here, this is the Wild Horse Mesa. It's about a 75 square mile mesa. All right, also, let's see, also in the area, let's see, Great Sand Dunes. Let me take some of these off here. Getting a little too cluttered. Great Sand Dunes National Park is up here. It's be great for a day trip from Fort Garland or the town of Blanca. That's only about a 20 or 25 minute drive up to the sand dunes. Out here to the west, for you skiers and outdoor enthusiasts, you got the Wolf Creek ski area, or of course down here Taos, you got Taos Ski Village that's just outside of the town. Over to further west, for those of you that may know, Pagosa Springs is another beautiful area. Otherwise, we have people ask about fishing and hunting and those sorts of things in the area. So there's other outdoor stuff. So three main bodies, three main reservoirs in the area, right? So you got the Smith Reservoir, Sanchez Reservoir down south, and then over closest is the Mountain Home Reservoir. Sanchez is the largest. You know, there's been some drought in the area, so it's not really at full pool. Mountain Home, and then there's lots of creeks and streams and things like that for good trout fishing in the area. The reservoirs will generally have walleye and pike, but they also have some trout in them as well. Just to give you an idea from property here, here's Mountain Home, and you could go this way. Right, so again, it's only about 25 minutes from the property. Would be a good day trip, easy to get in and out. And similarly, for the hunters or outdoor enthusiasts, so ATV riding, hiking, all of that sort of stuff. This is the two properties are right here, and if you wanted, this is owned by Colorado. This is the green space, so you can get up into here for hunting, hiking, ATV riding, whatever you wanted to do up in this area. See that this is only either cut through, or you can come down just down the road here, just down the road here, and get onto the property, and then get back into the green space. Okay, let's see. 10-acre properties in this area are kind of uncommon. Most of the ones, so this whole area is the Sangre de Cristo Ranches area was developed by Forbes back in the 70s. There's about 7,900 lots in here. Many of them has a minimum of 5 acres, but most of them 5 to 10. Some of them get a little bit larger, up to about 30 acres in some. 56,000 acres in total, with about 4,600 acres of green space for use for the public. So this area in general is called the San Luis Valley. It's a fertile high plains desert, right? You see these crop areas. So there's lots of organic crops being grown in the area. Most of this property in here is around 7,500, 7,700 feet of elevation on the valley floor. And then as you start to get up into this area, the foothills, they'll start to range up 8,500, 9,000 foot of elevation, and then you get up into the higher peaks, and some of these properties will be 10,000, 10,500 foot of elevation. We see every now and then. I think I've had one property that was over 11,000 feet. They exist. They're not too many of them out there. Properties down here on the valley floor, these are mostly grasslands. You'll have some sagebrush that comes through there. As you get into the foothills, you'll start to see more of the pinyon pines that average about 10 to 20 feet high. Some of them can get as high as 30 feet. The higher elevations will have the ponderosa pines, the spruce and the fir, and those beautiful aspen trees that have the white bark, and they turn this beautiful orange color in the fall. So this property here is at 9,300 feet of elevation. I wanted to give you an idea. So this is not of the actual property, but another property that I have had in the area. But this is going to show these these pinyon pines. This is going to be pretty typical for 9,300 foot of elevation, right? These sorts of trees. So not the little scrub brush, right? But you're going to have it's going to look a lot like this. A lot like this. That gives you an idea. That gives you an idea of what the property. It's been snowing in the area. We had a pretty heavy snowfall this winter, so I haven't had an opportunity to get my photographer out there to get some actual pictures of the property, but I wanted to give an idea of what that looked like. Talked about hunting, right? The Game Management Unit 83 is has one of the largest elk herds in the state, estimated to be about 7,000 elk, plus there are deer and antelope and a large population of grouse in the area. The Game Management Unit, GMU 83, right? But that was the 46,000 acres of green space. Okay, let's move on. So let's drill into the area a little bit. Let's drill into the area. So I talked about the entry into the area. So what you might see, so again, here's the properties. We're going to come back to that in just a second. But you see that there's a little cabin here. There's some sort of a, I don't know if that's a house with power or if that's a cabin. Right? Many people in the area would do solar. And then just down the road, probably somewhere around there, here's going to be about the entry. Here's going to be about the entry into the green space. You can almost see here on the road, people would pull off and park right here and then enter into these trails to get up into the area. See this? I'll give you an idea where we're at, and then it's just easy access right here out onto the service road, out on the service road, and then to get to the highway. Does that make sense? All right, let's drill in a little bit. Now this is a, let's see, here is north, right? There's Blanca, over there's Mount Mestas, right? So from the property itself, you're not going to have a view of Mount Blanca, but it would, this is going to be facing west. So you're going to have a beautiful view of the sunsets overlooking the valley. This property is not heavily sloped. It's about 22, 23 degrees. Swing around here. All right, let's look at so here is, let me show this. So two side-by-side properties. This property here is 10.160 acres. And then the property right next to it, 10.705. So a total of 20.86 acres, right? Put them together. And I want to show them individual. So this property here, I'll show this elevation profile. If you start off at about 9,300 feet, and this is pretty flat up into here, and then that's it, right? And then there's 25 degree or so drop down, and then it's pretty flat down through here. Pretty flat down through here. Similarly, let's go across. So there's kind of a ridge or a bubble that goes across the top. So over here, it's going to be a nice flat camping area. You could pull in off of the road there, compared to on the other. So let's look at the other property. Here's straight across, right? So here's kind of your bubble in the middle. And that's pretty flat over there. And same going down. So you got about 22 degrees going down, 22 degrees, and then it flattens out down here at the bottom. So I think this is a interesting property. Lots of usable space. Good place to camp up here on top. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So this is actually a cul-de-sac. See if we can get a see from this angle. See from this angle, you see the little bubble here in the middle. So you'll have a beautiful view of, you know, trees and some hills and around you. You're not going to see any of the white. You're not going to see any of the peaks. Oops. But the view out to the west, should be pretty nice. This area down here would be a great place to again have a campsite off the road for some privacy. All right, I think that's about it. So let's see, 9,370 feet of elevation up here, down to about 9,100 feet. So total of 20.865 acres, 10.705 on this one, 10.160 on this one. Nice trees. It's got some good flat spots, plenty of texture to make the property interesting. Pinyon pines. What else can I say? Average slope 22, 23 degrees going down. There's going to be some ways probably here to where it's going to be a little bit flatter to come in. Well-maintained roads. It's about 5.3 miles out to Highway 159. So not too bad to get out to the highway, even less to get to the service road, about 12 minutes. This is Adelaide Road. Adelaide Road near, I guess this is Beckett. No time limit to build. Taxes are low. It's a beautiful property. I think that this is one that you could get to most months out of the year. Being as close to the highway as it is, I think that one of the challenges in some of these areas is when you get snowfall and then it melts and gets up into the 50s, right? The dirt roads turn into mud. So you're probably still going to need a four-wheel drive after it has snowed or when it's had a lot of precipitation. But most of the time you should be able to get to this property. That's about it. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Check out our website, 1124holdings.com or e24land.com. Subscribe to our email distribution list to get early notification of these types of properties. Thanks for watching. More details in the description. Thanks.